Let me bring in Alok Bansal, Director, India Foundation. On that, Alok Bansal, your first comments on what has happened, the kind of targets that India chose to execute this strike and the manner that it has been carried out, and whatever has flowed thereafter.
See, firstly, by targeting 9 targets, we have clearly shown that Indian armed forces have retaliated and have destroyed the terror infrastructure to a very great extent. And very importantly, 4 of these targets are in Punjab, which is the heartland of Pakistan. In fact, 3 of them from the area from where bulk of Pakistan's troops are recruited. And also, the headquarters of both Jaish-e-Mohammed as well as Lashkar-e-Toiba have been targeted.
It's the home ground of Pakistan's Prime Minister as well, perhaps the Army Chief too, isn't it?
Also, it has actually, my input from Bahawalpur says that there were huge explosions actually. I really am not sure what is the situation of Masood Azhar and Hafiz Saeed, whether they have also been eliminated or they have managed to survive. I think the clarity would come with a little time. The problem is Pakistan's army has now resorted to propaganda, because Pakistan's army knows that if they retaliate, there's bound to be escalation, and Pakistan is neither in an economic condition nor in a military condition to take the conflict further. But at the same time, they have to show something to their domestic audience, which is as it is restive. And there is huge discontentment, especially in the western provinces of both Baluchistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So Pakistan has to show, and that's why we are seeing some propaganda where they are claiming 5 Indian planes have been brought out. They are claiming 1 brigade headquarter has been destroyed. One doesn't know, but the fact is that they have increased the artillery shelling across line of control, which has resulted in 3 civilian deaths. Of course, Indian armed forces are giving a befitting reply. And if this sort of a duel continues, I think Pakistan will soon run out of artillery shells, because Pakistan has supplied a large chunk of artillery ammunition to Ukraine in recent past, and I think they have very limited artillery shells left with them. So Pakistan is in a precarious condition, and I think their political establishment is suing for peace. They are asking international community to mediate. They hope that some sort of mediation takes place, but we'll have to see how does the Pakistan army chief reacts, who is extremely communal and you can say a jihadi journal. So let's wait and watch how it happens.
His province has been hit comprehensively, although Rawalpindi has been spared. Could be a future target if Pakistan dares to do something more, but we'll have to wait and see. Just stay with us, Alok Bansal, because my colleague Amritpal Singh is also joining me now from Chandigarh, very close to the home of our Western Commander. Amrit, what's happening there in terms of how well is India prepared for any kind of action that Pakistan might take in retaliation, although Pakistan is claiming that it is already retaliated without any proof?
Here in Punjab and Haryana, all air bases of the Indian Air Force have been put on high alert. Flights have been cancelled in the northern and the western sector. In case Pakistan reacts, the army on the Punjab border is already on high alert. As you said, Chandigarh is the Western Command headquarters of the Indian Army. Ambala is the strike corps of India, of the Indian Army. So the air bases of the Indian Air Force and the Indian Army deployment, all our corps, the Bathinda Corps, the Jalandhar Corps, everybody is on a high alert. Punjab being a border state, so the Indian Army, in case Pakistan breaches, ceasefire, which it has breached in Jammu and Kashmir, if it does that along the international border in Punjab or shows any kind of adventurism either in Punjab or in Rajasthan, the army is well prepared to tackle that. To come back to one little thing which you said, that Rawalpindi hasn't been hit. Rawalpindi wasn't supposed to be hit. It's a brilliant military strategy by the Indian Armed Forces, where only terrorist infrastructure has been hit in Pakistan. In Pakistan occupied Kashmir and in Punjab, in Bahawalpur.
We seem to be having trouble with Amritpal's link there. We'll try and fix that. I do like to set the cat among the pigeons, which is why I mentioned Rawalpindi, the home city of Pakistan's army chief, although it's a military target. Let me go across to Alok Bansal once again. Alok Bansal, what do you think will happen now? We, of course, will hear from the Indian Armed Forces at 10 a.m. There's a Cabinet Committee on Security meeting that's also set for later in the day. But in terms of the situation right now, is it a completely wait and watch situation? We have to watch and see what Pakistan might be up to?
I have no doubts that we must be preparing our next round of action, and it may not be prudent to discuss it on the television studios, but I guess we are prepared for any retaliation from Pakistan and then the next round of actions. However, if Pakistan probably doesn't do anything, probably we may not want to escalate the situation.
You were making the point that Pakistan perhaps cannot afford to do it. There's a lot at stake for Pakistan. The next tranche of money coming in from the IMF is also seemingly at stake.
See, there is no doubt. In fact, Finance Minister was in Europe and she has tried to tell both ADB and the European countries to cut down aid to Pakistan. In fact, FATF we have actually taken up an issue with, and Pakistan is in a precarious condition, and if the Gulf states also start twisting Pakistan's arm, there is no way that Pakistan would be able to take this conflict further. But having said that, please understand Pakistan's army has to maintain their preeminence in Pakistan's body politic, and to that extent some sort of a retaliation or at least a narrative where they show that they have retaliated is a must for them, because they have to sell to the domestic audience that they have done something. They cannot tell the domestic audience that they have been sitting and twiddling their thumbs. So that narrative has to be peddled by them, and I think already their defense minister is saying that they have brought down 5 aircraft, they have destroyed a brigade headquarter and whatnot. So you know what sort of lies they can peddle. Of course, the only retaliation at the moment on ground is that there has been artillery shelling which has been increased. There are also some unconfirmed reports about some aircraft having come down. Whose aircraft, what aircraft, and the clarity is still not there. There are some inputs that near Pampore, I think some aircraft has come down. I don't know. The initial report said F-16. I'm not too sure if Pakistan retaliated and that's been brought down or whatever is the situation. We will have clarity as time passes by. But the fact is that the country needs to remain vigilant. All citizens need to remain vigilant and be prepared for some sort of a retaliatory action from Pakistan. I'm sure armed forces are more than ready, and they are willing to retaliate in case Pakistan ups the ante both on land, sea and air.